bias is always built towards, and this is my opinion, not fact, dollars. What the hell is with vaccines? They don't work. Guess what? They do work. You want to keep your economy going. That's all it comes down to.
The ADA would have this too.
The part we don't get is something as simple as whether the booster tells you composite or the composite, he tells you amalgam. What the hell should he care? He's making the money in both ends. What I don't get is, and I think it was more, what would happen if they actually found out, and we agreed today that mercury is bad, there's 150 years of use. People aren't going to be pissed. Look at these diseases and say, wait a minute, the smoking industry or cigarette companies have to pay for stability. Are you kidding me? Can't do it. Sweden got rid of it. Norway got rid of it. Got rid of it for health reasons. Did it through the environment ministry. Environmental ministry said, we're going to get rid of this product because environmentally it's wrong. They can't get it through the health ministry because they'd be admitting that. It's a health issue. What's the health issue? It's on the books of the health issue. Lynn, who made that statement, from his Swedish report. Every doctor and dentist where known pathophysiological disease, look for mercury. Did include dentists in that wording because he knew they were the ones that put this damn stuff in. Worst part of that is vaccines going, keep mercury amalgam, keeping all these drugs going, drug companies going. The same things that are bankrupting this country. Your toast, your health bill is $1 trillion, millions of dollars. That's your health bill. Someone ends up having to pay for this. If you make people, they got it ass backwards. The only way to save this country, get your system right. That's right again. What Dr. Yakrosky built the system, what I love about it is, why are residents had a had not heard that. No vaccine industry did it. You cannot make the vaccine, and they got the law passed, so they got carte blanche. After World War II. Issue then comes, again, that's what I say we're starting to reference to, was bioresonance testing. For being key, you want to then test someone, find out what pernicious factors are actually hurting that person. There's only one way that you can successfully do that. Support them. What do we want to believe? What do we want to think? You can do a school year and it don't work. John was suggesting or saying how you do blood tests. Don't find anything in them. Why? Walk into the body. That is the key with mercury. What makes it so bad? It goes in. What are your half-life? You can do all the testing you want. You ain't going to find it. If you do find it, where does it turn? His daughter, it's a certain her body that genetic ability. Her, it's going to be this, the body. Me, it was the emotional center, the delusional center. My dad, it was his heart. He died of 59 of a heart attack. Mom, it was her thyroid. She died of thyroid cancer at 69. It escalates each different person. It's individual where it's going to lodge. It's going to be everywhere. What they're going to express as far as the disease process. That's for these young athletes, the idiopathic cardiomyopathy, these young athletes who are dying of heart attacks. Exactly why. Get 2,000 times more mercury in their heart. A basketball game, football game, drops on the floor for you. So, the issue then becomes, how do you, the test on a live person, then determine what vicious agents are affecting them? You start with sciences. What are the laws? What are the rules? The example I use is there's chemistry. There's in chemistry. You can make a bomb of dynamite. That's chemistry. Let's say you want to blow up Hiroshima. How much dynamite would it take to blow up Hiroshima? When they start talking about megatons. Megatons, a chemical, but it would take to create the equivalent of a suitcase nowadays. Again, if you had a suitcase, do the equivalent. So physics is energy for chemistry. And a lot of our tests right now is simply chemistry. Like I said, unless it's post-mortem, it ain't going to work. After Yarkovsky physics and understood that, I'm not sure how much everybody understands, but every molecule, every atom, every substance, the wavelength or frequency or pattern. A lot of us know about bioresonance and muscle tests. What you're doing is you're using that certain frequency and test against a subject in a certain manner or way to get a positive, negative response. When Dr. Yarkovsky did a lot of his initial work, there's computers, there's machines, there's kinds of tests. The difficulty there is the questions that you ask. Again, our philosophy is computers are great. A man-made machine, if you don't get the software right, if you don't put your input into it right, it's limited in what it can ask, what it can do. I'm a firm believer God created the best computer in the world. That's the muscle testing is done. Physiology, ours is non-force. Because if you want to test and you're going to do testing for an hour, half an hour, 2 hours, I think it'll last. We do a non-force. One of the other things that give you a little bit apart is do testing against just away from the core, just away from organs, and you're away from a lot of the interference, we're going to call a lot of the stuff just being right there. Yarkovsky built and he didn't care if it was mercury. He's a medical doctor. He didn't care if it was mercury. He just built a non-force test that we all have. And again, I have some test filters here, different organs, different pernicious agents. He listens to these things. He just was asking his questions to his patients and doing these things. And I mean, the man is a like Mozart now, the way he plays with this thing, and he can do the things as far as he does in his mind, through the filters to get to his logarithm of organs are concerned, the pernicious factors are concerned. Yes, we can use then the patient detox. Again, in that framework, narrowed things down to key organs and key pernicious organs. Okay? Within the brain, there's, different parts, where one would be frontal lobe, which is relating to memory, the brain as a whole energetic factor more for concentration, headaches, I don't know the actual parts, emotional center, which is again into depression, anxiety, pineal, which is getting into sleep issues, obviously the kidneys, adrenal cortex, or chronic fatigue, and gone through his system A. He didn't care what it was, where it was. He just took, and through 15 years of experience on key organs, on key pernicious factors, he built his system that created the just to help the patient get better. And I brought everything here so we can do a demo if anybody's interested. My wife said she would like to be my test subject. Been a patient for 3 years. Been a patient at for 3 years. Well, learned the system. Don't practice it. Okay? Make my money at dentistry. One of the huge things a doctor your costs will always say, everything works. Everything works. Go Bilboa and Anthem Gum. There's a million products out there. They all work. What degree do they work? And this is the key to this. If you can work on the severe cases, the most severe diseases, can improvement, that's a system that actually works. He works in New York, and again, it says it. As long as you improve anyone's health, you're already dead. And depending on how bad that tissue is, because as far as toxicity goes, the beginning stages, middle stages, at the end stages. It's harder to cure someone at the end stages of a disease, the beginning stages of a disease. And literally, we believe anybody, everybody can benefit from this simple treatment. There's no one too far gone unless you're already in a coffin. In that sense, that's where we like to think that we have a system that, being universal. The thing I liked about it cost me. I bought computers, I bought software. Right on. It was 18 months duration, in 4-day sessions. It's in intensive 2 to 4 weeks total. And in between, as you're practicing, you're learning. Go back another session 3 months later, learn, you practice, you learn. And this is special in the sense that this doesn't exist. What started off at FCT was school or the college, or whatever you want to call it. In Europe, homeopathy is more common. And so what Dr. Yurkovsky found was he's getting all kinds of patients coming out of Europe, Ireland and England, and talking patients have seen 20, 30, 40 doctors. Well, that's the success rate. improves. You end up in Dr. Yarkovsky's office and the patients are getting better. So this group out of England, Ireland, Great Britain were saying, we got to do a study of this. Invited him to overseas. Quite a few courses there. They learned some. And then two of the gentlemen who, in the beginning, early stages, says, listen, we need to get this out. They formed two classes, one in Europe, North America. So for over this 18, they held this program. It was like a one-time deal. They're maybe going to do another one. Literally, it was a one-time shot. And there's no funding for this. No, unless there's interest, people are going to pay. It's like here today, and we've offered it to 10 of our members. I'm the only person here. And but as you're being rude, I'm here because I'm the president. I felt it would be stupid for me not to be here. We're lucky that with the kids it worked out that this is exactly our time spot with school and all that kind of stuff. And you know what I'm saying? It's hard to actually build something. Dr. Yarkovsky, he himself doesn't teach it. He practices it. I mean, he sees 30 people a day, 4 or 5 days a week. How is he going to spend his time teaching this because you can't make money at it? Even myself, I know the system. I learned the system. I love the system. Die with the system. I can't practice it because I'm not going to put myself out there that kind of martyr. I'm putting myself out there to be a martyr advocacy to get mercury amalgam off the market. If I do that, I save a whole lot more people I am with FCT. I might save a handful. Get mercury amalgam off the market, save billions. Might take 3-4 generations. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm putting my energy. And I would because it's inexpensive. It's about computers. Got 1,000 test filters at home. Got a $30 platform. Got their water bottles. Yes. The thing now that I need is water. Only product that's ever has homeopathics is water. We use alkaline preparations, straight water. Now I know that with what I have, go anywhere in the world, anytime, anything I need to do, don't need anything else. Machine is non-electrical. Brother-in-law is a radio tech for the RCMP for 30 years. I mean, he's Mr. He's savant when it comes to electronics. He says, Andy, you have a look at this. You say what it does and look. We do what it says it wants to do. To me, that was good enough because all it's doing is copying initial frequency you might have of a tissue pernicious agent, and it just transfers to another vial. You use those to create the remedies, or use those for the testing of the remedies. Two sets you don't smell. And don't know anything about the rice. I know is Dr. Yarkovsky's these things. His opinion simply being then again, it's still a machine. The philosophy that we have is in the books, and it's the sense that the body needs to heal itself. Chemical's going to heal you. Machine's going to heal you. Huge in what we do is you simply conversation with the body, help the body to understand that this is the right message, to nudge the body to then do its job. Adding chemicals, adding other things or frequencies, or what you're doing is you're adding another pernicious agent. We are open, complex, and individual. You do not add in only things out. That's huge in our philosophy. Huge, huge, huge. Another huge point is, and where a lot of the issues, when you talk about chelation, and it's simple. Lloyd Haley is no thing as a mercury chelator. It doesn't exist. Yes, mercury will be chelated by stuff. Those are lead chelators, those are other heavy metal chelators. Mercury in the molecule and the way it's formed, the way it is set up, doesn't Chelate, well, it makes mercury the pernicious agent that it is. It bonds that it forms to the body, to the sulfhydro groups, to your enzymes, to your amino acids. It's so strong, later is going to that. So, you can take some out, but it's not the same. By doing it energetically, here's that Hiroshima and dynamite. Yeah, you can do a dynamite with this chelators. How much dynamite is going to take to get it out versus another key point is selectivity. Do chelation. Burning the bottom of the pot of porridge. You got this bottom of the pot you want to get out. You get it out. You got to throw everything out because you can't just take that out. Doing chelation, I mean, you're in there with something that's, you don't know where it's going. You have to support the initial process of maybe grabbing the pernicious agent, support the process of transportation, support the process of then excretion. Chelators don't do that. All they do is they go and selectively grab something and it's done. Hope the body can then take it out, but you can't know that. Huge in what we do is support. You're working on pernicious agents, you might pick 1, 2, maybe 3. That's it. Organs. Body deal with those pernicious agents. The remainder of the philosophy of the therapy is based on supporting the organs of elimination. You support the kidneys, you support the lymph, you support the large intestine, you support the brain, all the weak organs. Everybody's tested individually, so your weak organ is the heart, you support your heart. Weak organ is the brain, you support the brain, the kidney. Support whatever it is that you can, as much as you can, to go from putting it right to the point where it's actually inside the body. Again, that's a huge, huge key tenet in what we do. In the book that you have, there's 7 key tenets. And reasonably well. Again, I'm here till Monday when we're off the boat. If anybody wants to talk over a beer or a drink, it's easy. That part, I live for this. I can do that at home a million times. And again, any other questions, concerns before we start a demo?